Okay, going to presentation mode. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so my name is Nikunj Haria. I'm part of Group C, and our research was around the Storm Botnet. Okay, so it's in three stages. First, we're going to talk about the botnets, how Storm Botnet works, and then the remediation against the storm worm. So, what are botnets? Basically, it's a short for robot network, and it's a network of computers that are already infected by malware under controlling of a single attacking party who is known as a bot master or a bot herderer. So basically, the scale of a botnet will enable the attacker to perform very large scale actions that were previously impossible with malware. And the typical uh, quite a few types of botnets, including email spam, DDoS attacks, financial breaches, as well as targeted intrusions. So, what is a Storm botnet? It's basically a Trojan horse that is spread through emails. So, comes majorly using phishing types of techniques, which opens a backdoor in the computer. Once the bot is actually installed on a machine, it can harvest email addresses from that machine and propagate itself to other machines. The thing is over here, it also installs a rootkit on that machine so that it hides itself from being detected, and it can do more action on objectives on that particular machine. Um, it has the capability of updating itself, which means that it's very hard for monitoring devices to actually detect this kind of malware. It was first detected in January 2007. It originated from Russia, and the group that created the botnet go by the name Zelatin Gang, or known as the Storm Gang. Okay. So if you look at the timeline of the Storm botnet, it was first identified in 2007, um, January 2007. In September 2007, it was running at its peak, infecting up to 50 million computers. Okay. Then just the same year later, around December, it started declining. And by mid 2008, only to 85,000 computers were infected. However, in 2010, there was a research done by McAfee where they made an announcement that there were rumors of Stormbot 2 that was being verified within the network. So how does Stormbot actually work? So it infects malware. It mainly affects computers running the Microsoft Windows as the operating system. And once infected, the bot would perform some automated tasks like gathering data on the user to attacking websites, as well as forwarding the infected email with the infected attachment. Okay. Um, According to research done, it was derived that the backend servers were controlled through the spread of the botnet, and it would automatically re-encode the distribution of the infected software at least twice an hour for new transmissions. And there's a video that is playing on the right that shows you how within 8 hours of time, it affected so many machines in September 2007. Um, the good thing, the thing with the Stormworm, how it was able to evade monitoring techniques is that it was using a changing DNS technique known as fast flux. Fast flux basically allows you to change your DNS domain records in real time so that it becomes very hard to detect. And at the same time, it leveraged the peer-to-peer communication, which makes external monitors very hard to detect and disable. So the video on the right actually shows you within an 8-hour period how it actually affected many machines within the Europe and the America region. Okay. So how does what is the life cycle of a Stormworm botnet? As you can see from this slide, first you have a web spammer's website. Okay. Someone would click on a link or be sent a link to click that would redirect them to a website. And then from there, there's a spammer who has a spamware installed on that machine and will infect computers using that particular spamware. Once that infected computer is triggered, there's a virus or a Trojan that is installed on that particular machine, which now triggers mail servers. so that it can propagate itself to other users and initialize that command and control traffic to the attacker's server. So there are several indicators. First of all, there is high network traffic. So if you see a sudden spike in your traffic within your network, this could be an indicator. Maybe there's some suspicious network connections that are coming out of your machine with suspicious or unknown IP addresses. Sometimes by just looking at what processes are running on your machine and you see some unusual process like svc host.exe, it was known to be associated with the Storm botnet. Spam emails, remember, as I said from my previous slide, phishing was the main technique to spread this particular botnet. Unusual software being installed on your machine, which is a type of a Trojan, distributed denial of service attacks, as well as DNS queries made to malicious domains. So this is an example of how Storm was able to send spam through the Google's SMTP server. As you can see, as soon as it makes a connection, it can send an arbitrary code. In this case, it's just hello Kerbin, because this was just a proof of concept. But under the command, you can actually put any type of malicious command that would infect that particular malware. And you can see now the command going coming from your particular email going to the other affected, or the emails that it has actually harvested from that particular system. This was a peer-to-peer based botnet. As you can see, the traffic analysis. The primary protocol for the botnet was UDP, and each bot will actually use the UDP protocol to communicate. And normally the Storm will include a SMTP component to spread that particular spam email. So over here on this chart, wherever you see the red traffic, that is actually the UDP traffic that is being traversed over the network, and the blue traffic being the SMTP traffic. So what are some of the detections and preventions of the Storm botnet? So first of all, make sure that you're using an antivirus software. In this day and age, making sure that you're using either an EDR software like an endpoint detection response or an XDR solution within your machine. Make sure you're monitoring your network traffic. Make sure you're blocking traffic to suspicious IP address. Today, if you're in an office environment and you have a firewall installed, definitely it has the up-to-date database of all the suspicious IPs and suspicious domains that your users should not be connecting to. Making sure that you keep your softwares up to date, because vulnerabilities are a key reason of some of these botnets being able to spread. Use some tools like intrusion detection and intrusion prevention systems to ensure that traffic is being scanned before entering your network. You can use advanced threat intelligence and sandboxing technologies to actually analyze these new threats known as zero-day vulnerabilities, which are known as the unknown malware, to actually stop spreading from your network. At the same time, making sure that you're training your users. Remember, the main cause of this botnet to spread was through phishing. So a lot of user awareness needs to happen, where they need to be aware of what they're clicking on and what sites they're actually trying to access. At the same time, making sure that you regularly back up your data, so that anytime you're already infected by malware and it tries to delete some stuff, you always have some backup that you can always restore and continue your business. In terms of reference, these are some of the sites that I used to pull this information. This is where I did my research from. As part of a team, we did our research, and this is where we came up with most of the content from. And that's it. Thank you very much. I hope I was under 5 minutes. Thank you. Any questions?